Our virtual parent academy. My name is Mariel Milano, and I'm the Director for Family Engagement and Digital Outreach. We are joined today by some of our fabulous local Florida colleges and universities, and today we're going to be hosting our college admissions panel. So we have Florida Gulf Coast University, um, FIU, University of South Florida, and the new college that will be joining us today, in addition to Florida Gulf Coast University. And so the format for our panel today will be that we are going to give each university about 5 to 8 minutes to share with you the important content for their school. And then after we have heard from all of our colleges, we will be opening it up to questions about college admissions from all of you at home. This session will be recorded and available on our OCPS Families channel for those of you who need to go back and review the information. And we will work our best to make sure we get copies of each of the materials shared by our presenters today to make sure that you have access to the best information at home after today. We're going to head and tee off with Miss Nancy Hernandez, and I am going to pass the ball over to you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. I do have a presentation in which I will talk to you all about our university, as well as the application process and what to expect, and how our reviewing process goes. So just hold on tight and let's begin. Okay. So a couple of things that I would like to point out. Our university was founded in 1956. Our mascot is actually Rocky the Bull. And he's usually, in most of our events. Our over enrollment is 50,957. Out of that number, we do have 37,350 students that are doing their undergraduate programs. Now, obviously, that number has increased, and we are very happy. Our student faculty ratio is 21-1. So as you can see, the classes are very small for students that would like to be taking part of our general education courses, as well as their specific majors once they move on. So the average class, I would say, is 33 students. Now it does depend, like I mentioned, the location of the campus, as well as what class it is. So just be mindful of that. We are a very diverse university, and we have over 41% of our students are actually from different backgrounds. Students from all 50 states, as well as 141 countries. So we really like to say that we do have inclusion and diversity across our campuses. So you want to make sure that if you get here, you take part of different organizations, student organizations, and really be able to experience that yourself. We do have over 200 plus majors and concentrations. Our school does focus majorly on research. So whether you decide to go to the Tampa, Sarasota, Manatee, or St. Pete campus, we do have everything available across all campuses. Now, I would say that our university does have 3 different locations. The first one is going to be in our Tampa. The Sarasota, Manatee is going to be our smaller campus. And then we have the St. Pete one, which is located actually right in our downtown area of St. Pete. So it's a great opportunity for those of you who are possibly interested in visiting some of our beaches. I do know that I enjoy myself going out and getting a nice tan. So we do have, as mentioned, 200 plus majors and concentrations. Now, it really depends on what campus you choose, as Tampa will house most of our majors. Our College of Engineering is going to be more specific, and then also our nursing. But other than that, all of our College of Business are kind of abroad in all of the other 3 campuses. So please be mindful of that. In the Sarasota Manatee, we do have 35 of the undergraduate and graduate degrees available. And then on our St. Pete area, there's going to be 79 undergraduate and graduate degrees available. So I do like to say that we live in a very nice area in all three nice, beautiful cities. There is a lot to do outside of the classroom, so we do like for students to partake in that. I would like to point out that Tampa has been listed as one of our top 100 cities in America to live in. So this gives you a great opportunity as far as if you are possibly thinking about doing business majors and taking part of internships. It's a great opportunity also in St. Pete, since we do have a couple of other Fortune 500 companies across all three areas. And that's something that students really enjoy as they are able to take that partnership at a very beginning as early as their freshman year. Now, we do have clubs and organization. We do have over actually 1,000 student clubs and organizations across all three campuses. If you are possibly thinking about being part of the Greek life, you want to make sure that you look as far as where they are housed. They are going to be in the Tampa location. So if that's something that you are interested in, you will have to think about the Tampa campus. We do have over 35 international clubs and societies. So if that's, like I said at the very beginning, we are very inclusive and we are a very diverse university. We take pride of that. And you can look into these clubs and organizations that we do have available on our website as well. We do have over 40 sports clubs. So even though you might not be playing Division One, you can be part of different sports team and clubs here. And then we do have 15 of our intramural sports. We do have our men's sports for baseball, basketball, cross country, I apologize, golf, soccer, tennis, and track and field. And then we do have our ladies. Our newer ones are actually lacrosse and beach volleyball. Now, as far as clubs and sports playing professionally here, you would have to obviously speak to a coach, and that should have been done at some point, depending on what grade you are in right now. We do have housing available on our campus, both the St. Pete and the Tampa campus. We have our traditional, our suite, and apartment style. Now, they all will vary based on different price tags. So if you are interested, you can go and on our website and look a little bit more into details as to what we do have available on each campus. Now, we are working on our Sarasota Manatee housing opportunities. And I know that that might be available maybe possibly for fall of 2023. Now, we do have dining halls, so that's a great opportunity for students that are looking to live on campus. We understand that, it allows them to have good meals. There are different types of meal plans. So that's going to be something that if you are interested, like I said, go on to our housing and dining website to learn a little bit more of what's offered. It is available a little bit for everybody. So even if you're a vegetarian, we do have something available there. And as mentioned, there are a couple of different apartment suites that we do have on our Tampa campus and also as well as our St. Pete. These are actually newer ones. When you do take a tour at the University of at any of our campuses, you can actually look at the types of apartment styles that we do have, as well as our suite styles. Now, like I said, pricing and everything else varies. So please make sure that you guys are familiar with what to expect and also be reaching out to housing if you do have any questions in regards to that. This is just more in detail as far as like what the suite style. It usually rooms about 200 students, and we do have the suite and apartment style for residents. First floor usually will have some sort of student life center. We do have our USF bookstore. Actually, this is going to be in the Sarasota Manatee, and this is the one that we are possibly planning for fall of 2024. And then the upper floors will have card access security, and that's going to be where our advising area and also laundry facilities and so forth will have it available. But this is just like I said, this is just kind of like a run through. This is just an idea of what they are planning to possibly have ready for fall of 2024. Now let's get to the real important details of how to apply to the University of South Florida if you're interested. Well, we are available on the Common App as well as our USF application. Our application opened up on August 1st. So students that are interested in possibly applying to the University of South Florida, you want to make sure that you complete all of that. There is a SAR that you must complete. And for those of you who might not know, the SAR is basically a self-report academic record that you will provide to us. And typically your college counselors or your high school counselors can guide you as to how to complete it and how to enter all of your freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year classes. And then we will basically link it to our application once you have completed your Common App or USF app. Also, we do look at your official SAT or ACT test scores. So you want to make sure that you send it to us as soon as possible. We are in our priority period. So that means August 1st was the first day that our application opened. November 1st is going to be actually our priority completion deadline. So if you want to be considered for priority, it gives you the opportunity to be considered for the campus that you want to go to, but also for the semester. You want to make sure that you get that in as soon as possible. Now, I did not mention, but there is a $30 application fee. There is also a fee waiver. So for those of you who possibly get SAT or ACT waivers, or you are on free reduced lunch, that can take care of that. You would just need to talk to your high school counselor and they will be able to provide that to you. Now, a couple of things that I would like to go a little bit more in depth as far as like GPA on the SAR. There are going to be a couple of classes that will be recalculated. USF looks at all of the classes, let's say, for example, that you have completed from freshman to your junior year. So if you have completed honors, pre-AP, pre-IB courses with a C or better, you will get half a point. Now, if you do AP, IB, ACE, dual enrollment courses with a C or better, then you get a full additional point. If you are wondering once you have submitted your application what your USF GPA is, you can always email us and we can always tell you what your admission GPA is. Now, as far as test scores, that's something that you should know. Usually you can go onto your SAT or ACT student portal and be able to see that. We do super score, so send us all your score and we will be able to just basically do a review of what sections you did better, you performed better, and then give you the best score. So please make sure that you send it to us as soon as possible. Now, if you are possibly thinking of retaking it, please make sure that you keep in mind that whatever you submit to us is what we're going to be reviewing you for. So just keep that in mind. For summer 20 and fall 2023 deadlines, our application, as mentioned, did open up August 1st. Our application deadline is going to be priority application deadline will be November 1st. And then as soon as basically we will be releasing decisions on December 15th for those students that have completed their application. So please make sure that you keep that in mind. We do also have freshman scholarships available, and that's going to be for the January 15th deadline. So please make sure that you have sent everything if you do want to be considered for that. And that's going to be something automatically as long as you're meeting the GPA requirements, as well as the test scores, you will be automatically considered for them. And there are, like I said, scholarship consideration is going to be January 15th. Our final deadline for general application is going to be March 1st, 2023. And that's going to be our deadline for students that would like to submit an application. And then the completion deadline will be March 15th. Now, I do advise do not try to wait really far out because sometimes because of limit capacity, you might, we ran into that situation last year, where we received more applications than expected. So they were denied some students for the capacity because we were at cap. And then there is going to be a deposit deadline. It's going to be May 1st. I do advise students that as soon as they have a decision made on their application, and if this is the institution that they really want to go to, go ahead and do your deposit so that way you can reserve a seat for your orientation and be able to do the housing application if that's something that they're interested in. As mentioned, this is actually our profile for fall of 2022. This was what our average scores were. So for high school GPA, they were anywhere in between a 4.0 and a 4.5. The SAT requirements were a 1240 and a 1390, and then ACT were anywhere between a 27 and a 31. For summer, they were slightly a little bit lower, but for our high school GPA, they were still around 3.6 to a 4.1, SAT 1100 and 1190, and then ACT 22 and 25. Now, this is the criteria that we will be looking at for this year's profile. Now, please keep in mind that this is just the middle 50% of our students. They 25 are a little bit under, and then 25 of them are a little bit above. But this is going to be the criteria that we would be looking at for this year's class. All right, and as mentioned, there are a couple of scholarships available. So for each one, there are going to be different requirements. We do have our USF Presidential Award, which is $16,000. That's $4,000 per year. And then we have our USF Directors Award, which is $12,000, and that would be $3,000 per year. And then our Scholars Gold Award, which is $8,000 and $2,000 per year. Now, as mentioned, there are different criteria that you have to meet. And that's going to be based off your high school GPA as well as your test scores. So please, if you do meet those requirements, there is no additional application. You will be automatically considered as long as we have received everything by January 15th of 2023. There are other additional scholarships. We do have our USF Traditional Excellence Awards, our USF Honors College scholarships, and also our History of Achievement Awards. And then if you are possibly interested in being part of our Honors College, this is actually, you would have to first apply to our USF, and then you would then apply to the honors. So if you are possibly interested in doing any of our accelerated programs, please make sure that you go ahead and do the application as soon as you have your NAID ID and you have submitted basically your USF application. Now, you have to apply by January 9th in order for you to be considered or your application to be reviewed. And I said, like mentioned, there are a lot of benefits. There's a lot of great opportunities being part of the Honors College. So please make sure that you, if this is really what you want to do, that you do this as soon as possible. And there are multiple benefits of being part of the Honors College, such as study abroad and other scholarships that might, be available. So please make sure that you do that as soon as possible. We do have, let's say, for example, a student doesn't get accepted into USF as a first-time freshman students. There are different opportunities that they can transfer to our to USF later on. I'm not going to touch base a lot on this, but if for whatever reason it does come to this, you can always email us at admissions@usf.edu, and I'll be able more to provide you as far as what the requirements would be. And these are just a couple of transfer admission scholarships available as well for transfer students, but I'm not going to touch too base on that. Here is a glimpse of what our cost of attendance looks like for a Florida resident. The total would be $23,866, and that obviously has tuition and fees, your housing, meals, book supplies, and other basically it's just it might be any other expenses. If you're really not going out and doing a lot of spending, it shouldn't be too large, but we do like for students to really understand that this is what they should be looking at, and this is based on a 30 credit hour tuition. If you would like to take campus tours, you can do it through our website at www.usf.edu/campus tours. You can do some walking on your own, self-guided ones, and then we do have virtual tours, and we also have someone that can walk you, and that would be more of a student doing that. So if you are interested, please, I highly recommend going and seeing it yourself, seeing the different types of departments that we have, and also the chance to really speak to some of our department leaders and be able to answer any of your questions regarding your major, or answer any other questions that you might have. So I am basically done. At this point, if you do have any questions, our number is 813-974-3350, or you can just email us at admissions@usf.edu, where I will be able to assist you with answering any of your questions. I am the advisor for the Orlando area. So if you do have any questions, I would be the person that you would be reaching out to. And I will be providing, that information as well to our presenters, so that way you guys have it available. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. What great information. We're now going to go over to Mr. Jones. So I'll be moving him to the stage and making him a presenter. And he will be sharing information from Florida Gulf Coast University. So welcome.
Okay, thank you so much for having us. I'll go ahead and share my screen. I put in present mode. I don't know why. Oh, there we go.
Yep, if you just click on slideshow at the top. Yep, there you
Okay.
go.
All right. So, first off, thank you all for being here with us tonight. I'll go ahead and introduce myself. So, my name is Jamari Jones. You can all call me JJ as well. I am an undergraduate freshman admissions counselor at Florida Gulf Coast University. So, I do help make the decisions on the applications. So, if you have any questions about anything, just here's my contact information, and I am the recruiter for the Orlando region. So, I will be your point of contact for any information that you need. So here at Florida Gulf Coast, which we're located in Fort Myers, Florida, 2 hours from Tampa, 2 hours from Miami, about 2.5 to 3 from Orlando, depending on how fast you drive. But we're a small to medium-sized school, so we have a little bit over 15,000 students here. And on average, every classroom is about 33 students per class, with a 22-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So for students that are want to make a smoother transition into college, having those smaller classroom size settings is going to really be beneficial, as well as being able to network while you're in college, so that whenever you graduate, you have a better chance of getting the job that you're looking for. So we rank top 2 in the state of Florida when it comes to job placements after graduation, because of those smaller classroom size settings and being able to grow those relationships with the professors. And we also have a service learning component, so you have to get at least 80 hours community service in order to obtain your degree. So what that does is, if you're going to be a full-time student, you will have some kind of work experience by the time that you graduate. So the networks that you make while you're in college with your professors and mentors, added with the people that you meet out in the community, is going to really be beneficial for you once you graduate. And we do have 15 Athletic One teams that we do support, as well as over 250 student-ran organizations. So if you're into any Greek life, we do have a presence on campus with that. If you're into entrepreneurship or any of the, multicultural clubs, we do have a presence on campus as well. And then this is just a few pictures of some of the different things that you will be doing based on your major of choice. So we have a PGA golf management program, which we're one of only, I believe, 16 institutions that offer this, but it's pretty much a business degree in golf management. We have, a stock room. So if you're interested in trading stock, then you can actually do this while you're going through your business degree, as well as a couple of different things through engineering and the nursing program, which is very highly competitive. So this is the freshman housing, South Village. Around campus is referred to as SOVI. So we do offer 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom suites in South Village. We do have 3 other housing places that you can stay at once you're, out of your freshman years. But as a freshman, you will be in South Village, and like I said, you won't really share a room with anybody. You'll always have your own room for the most part if you stay on campus. And we do have, 84% of our students staying on campus. So that's a population of over about 2,000 students staying in South Village. And we're only 25 years old, so everything is pretty much up to date. And it looks just like the picture, if not better in person. So if you want that sense of privacy, then this is a nice area for you to be able to stay in. And so I'd advise to take a tour to the university because the pictures just doesn't do it justice. And we also have Sovi Dining, which is an all-you-can-eat buffet style restaurant here on the campus, right in Sovi. So you don't have to really go anywhere to get food if you have a meal plan. And if not, you can purchase, a ticket to go inside and eat, even without a meal plan. So that's South Village. And then at the university, we have over 60 degrees that you can obtain. So 63 undergraduate degrees, 26 master's degrees, and 7 doctorate degrees that you can go for. So I would just take a look at this and just kind of see if you can see yourself being a part of FGCU and coming to get whatever degree that you're looking for. I hope that we offer it. I will say that we did add D&D, or digital media design, to the School of Entrepreneurship. So that's something that's not listed on here, but we do offer that as well. And then this is just the library lawn. So this pretty much is where a lot of events are held at. Outside events are held here. Vendors come. A lot of people that I know that started businesses once we graduated from the School of Entrepreneurship, they bring their food trucks out here to get support, arts and crafts they can sell. And then if you look over at the academic core, which is on the right side or the top of the screen where all the buildings are, that's pretty much where a lot of the classes are. So you don't have to really worry about scheduling classes 30 minutes out or 45 minutes out to get from one class to the next. So you can pretty much allocate your time accordingly. You can stack your classes, get on campus, and pretty much get off campus and do whatever it is that you need to do. But as you can see, we're surrounded by a lot of wildlife. So it's really a nice place to be in the middle of nature and to be able to kind of relax, even if you're outside of the classrooms and just walking around campus. So at this is the admissions portion. This is probably the most important slide for you, the seniors and juniors. So we have our early action period. Our application opened up August 1st. You have until November 1st to do an application to be considered early action, and you have until November 15th to have those supplemental items, so the test scores and the transcripts, be sent to FGCU. Due to Hurricane Ian, you can, if you were affected, then you have until November 15th for the early action, as far as having a complete application. So you can submit an application by November 1st or November 15th, depending on if you were affected or not. And like I said, you have that extra 15 days to get those supplemental items in. And if you are one of those students that did have transcripts sent or test scores while the hurricane was here, then we are a little bit delayed because of that. So please bear with us. I do apologize for the inconvenience, but that's just kind of what the process is right now. So what early action grants you is top priority consideration for the merit-based scholarships that I will go over on the next slide, as well as you'll hear a decision back on your application around late December. So if you decide, hey, early action doesn't, it doesn't benefit me at all, then you have until March 1st. But I will say, like Nancy mentioned, it's going to be really difficult to get in around that time, around March 1st, just because of supply and demand. You have more applications coming in a lot less spots to give out. So if you know that you're going into, a competitive major, you're going to want to apply to any university that you're looking to go to around the early action period. And for our early action period, if you don't have the test scores that you need in order to get some of the merit-based scholarships, then as long as you have a complete application and have all of your documents submitted, you can go back and retest and be reconsidered for the merit-based scholarship. So it's just best to go ahead and get everything you have in now so that you have a complete application so that we can go ahead and consider you early action. So the regular decision is March 1st, and the deadline is March 15th to have those supplemental items in if you do decide to do it late. So you can apply through the Common App or the FGCU website. Either or is fine with us. And then a few averages that we have from the incoming freshman class last year was a 3.89 weighted GPA, an 1141 SAT, and a 23 ACT. So based on these averages, we will accept students above that average, at that average, or slightly below due to however your application kind of weighs out. But just remember to test a few different times because we do offer super score. So utilize it as a tool and get as many tests in as you can. Send us every test that you take, the results, so that we can do the super score for you. And then last but not least, this is just a little bit of breakdown for tuition. And since we're all in state, I'll just go over the in-state portion. So for Florida residents, based on 15 credit hours a semester or 30 credit hours in a year, or in other words, 10 classes a year, is going to be about a little bit over $6,000 in tuition. If we do add in on-campus housing and meal plans, then it's going to be around $16,000. So that's why I say it's really beneficial to apply early action if you want to help alleviate these costs. If you know that you're on the track of Bright Future 75%, then you're going to automatically fall in line with the President's Silver Scholarship, which is a $3,000 scholarship every year that you get for up to 4 years. So if you know that you're on track for Bright Futures 100%, then you're going to be considered for the President's Gold, which is $5,000 every year for up to 4 years. So that's why it's very beneficial to go ahead and apply early action. Just to be sure, we have 54% of students graduating debt free, and a lot of that has to do with receiving Bright Futures as well as the merit-based scholarships that we do offer. So I would just say be sure to test, and complete an application as soon as you can. It is a $30 application fee, which is non-refundable. So we also have one other scholarship opportunity, which is open now to you all. So it's called the Foundation Scholarship, and this is something that application that you will do every year as a student. And as long as you've done an application, then you can input your student number into the Foundation Scholarship and answer the 5 questions that we have. And the priority deadline is January 1st, and it will match your application to hundreds of scholarships provided by FGCU donors. So please be sure to do that scholarship, because that scholarship on top of the Bright Futures, and if you get Florida prepaid or any other outside scholarships, they will all stack up. So that's one of the biggest reasons why every 1 in 2 students are graduating debt free from the university. So if you do have any questions about the presentation, comments, concerns, please feel free to reach out or take a picture of this screen so that I can answer any question that you have. So thank you for your time. And I will pass it back to Mrs. Victoria.
Thank you so much. That was great information. I learned some new things myself there. I'm going to pass it over to Ms. Costello with UCF and let her share some great information about the University of Central Florida. Give me just 1 second to give you presenter rights, and we will be in good shape. There you go.
There now. Good evening. I'm Elizabeth Costello. I am the Director of Enrollment and Recruitment at the University of Central Florida. And oops, and my screen just went blank. Sorry about that.
We're still able to see your
You are?
University
Okay,
of Central
good.
Florida
Okay,
logo.
good. We are, here at UCF, we are a large public research university with over 68,000 students. We are the largest university in Florida and one of the largest in the nation, with more than 650 clubs and organizations, 13 colleges that make up the university, over 200 degree programs on the undergraduate and the graduate level. It's a really great time to be a UCF. We are designated as an Hispanic serving institution by the Department of Education with a student of color population of 49%. We are proud to be ranked by US News and World Report as among the nation's most innovative universities, and by Kiplinger's and Forbes magazine as one of the nation's top best educational values. The university is made up of 4 campuses. I think sometimes when I talk to some of our local folks, like I am this evening, some people are surprised by both our size and the number of campuses we have. So I wanted to highlight that as well for us. Our main campus is our largest and is located in East Orlando, and it's probably the one that most people are most familiar with. Then there's our Rosen College of Hospitality Management campus, and that is located in the heart of the hospitality industry near International Drive and the Orange County Convention Center. There's really no better place to learn about the hospitality industry than here in Orlando. So we're very proud of that campus. Our Academic Health Sciences campus is in the medical city of Lake Nona and is the home of our College of Medicine. Also recently announced, our College of Nursing will be moving down there as well. We'll be building a new facility for the College of Nursing, so that will be down there in probably about 2 years, but right now the College of Medicine is down there. And our newest campus is our UCF downtown campus, and that's located right in downtown Orlando. This campus opened up in 2019 and is in partnership with Valencia College. It allows students the opportunity to live and learn in the heart of Orlando. And those are our main campuses. Those are our four primary campuses. We also have sites on some of our community college and state college campuses around Central Florida. So we also have our Direct Connect program for students who are looking to perhaps transfer into the university once they've received their associate in arts degree. And those opportunities, those campuses, all of those campuses, such as at Valencia and Seminole State, have UCF offices on those campuses so that you can get working with advisors right from the time you start there and as you transition up to UCF, if that's the choice that you want to make. UCF's first year retention rate is 93%. The national average for first year retention at a large public university like UCF is about 75%. So we are very, very proud that we are significantly above the national average for first year retention. And what that means is that a first year retention rate is the students that return after their first year. They spend their first year with us, and then the students that come back for their sophomore year, and like 93% of our incoming freshmen come back for their sophomore year. We award approximately $585 million in financial aid each year, and 20% of our students are the first in their family to attend college. So UCF really has opportunities for everyone. We have a mission of access for students, and we want to be able to make that possible. Financial aid is one of the ways we do that because we want students to not be in debt when they graduate from us with their bachelor's degree. So we work really hard to make sure that they have that opportunity to have a strong financial aid program right from the beginning so that they can get out as debt-free as they possibly can. This slide is probably one of the more important ones that I have up today. It talks about our mid-ranges. It talks about some things about admissions for the juniors and seniors out there. UCF operates on rolling admission, which means we begin reviewing applications in the fall for the following summer and fall semesters. We continue making admission decisions through the spring, and we do not have a specific notification date. We accept both our institutional UCF application and the Common App. We have no preference on which one you submit. Definitely the only piece of advice I am giving is that please only submit one. We see a lot of students who see that we have two applications and they may just submit both of them, and that's not something that you should be doing. Just choose one, either the UCF institutional or the Common App, and that will process through for you. Once your application is submitted, you'll be able to complete and submit your academic record through your Future Nights portal. Future Nights portal is the place that you go from the very beginning. You apply there to UCF through your Future Nights portal, and then that is where you will get all of your status updates. You'll get all of the information that you need for a smooth transition into the university. And then that's where you'll be completing your SPARC. SPARC stands for Self-Provided Academic Record for Nights. Students do not need to submit a high school or dual enrollment transcript for admission review. If you are offered admission and choose to enroll at UCF, you'll submit your final high school and dual enrollment transcripts for verification and to complete your file. That's what we compare against your SPARC that you submitted, what we used for the admission offer, and making sure that they are the same. So you do not have to submit those transcripts until the very, very end if you do choose to attend the university. Our scholarship priority application completion deadline is November 1. Students with a completed application file by November 1st will be considered for merit scholarships. After that point, if we have scholarship funding available, students applying after that November 1 date will also be considered. We can't guarantee we'll have funding after that, so that's why we really encourage you to get your application into us by November 1st. And when I say application, I also say application completion deadline. We need everything as part of your application file at that point. So your application, the $30 application fee, the SPARC needs to be completed, and then your SAT scores or your ACT scores as well. That is what is needed for a completed file. UCF has what's called the top 10 nights guarantee for students. Students that are going to school here in Florida are in the top 10% of their senior class. If they meet certain program requirements, they are guaranteed admission to one of our 3 terms, either our summer, fall, or spring term. please visit our website for more details about TTK. There's definitely some things you're going to want to see on there for the different requirements for it, but the primary is being in the top 10% of your senior class if your school does rank. If you qualify for TTK, we do have a January 15th application completion deadline to be considered for the program, and students who are top 10 nights will be notified of their admission no later than March 1st. You may be notified earlier, but March 1st would be the date that you definitely would have a final decision if you are a top 10 night. And finally, I encourage you to visit us here at UCF. We offer daily tours Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. We also host what's called Night for a Day open house events, and those are on several Saturdays in the fall and in January. Please visit our website for information on visiting, how to sign up, how to register for an open house, as well as to view our frequently asked questions. You can see a self-guided tour map and some information if you're interested in doing that. And really everything else that you need to know about the UCF admissions process is available on our website. I would also encourage you to go to the individual college websites off of our main website so that you can see what, if you have a major you're thinking about, you can see a little bit more about that. You can learn about on our student involvement page about our clubs and organizations that make up the university. So really the most updated information is available there on our website. So I encourage you to go there. It is www.ucf.edu, and then there's a variety of places you can go from there to learn more about the institution. And finally, I just want to wish you the best of luck with your college search. And if we can be of any assistance at all, please feel free to reach out to us at our office. Here's our contact information, email, phone, either way is easier for you. Please, use that mode to get in touch with us. Probably email is going to be the fastest way to reach us. But definitely reach out if you have questions that you can't find on the website that maybe are maybe unique to you and you need some additional information. Feel free to check in with us and we'd be happy to get them for you. So go Knights, charge on, and I will turn it back over to the next panelist.
Thank you so much. I am very proud to have gotten my undergraduate degree from UCF and getting my graduate degree at FGCU. So many great colleges on the line today. So we are going to finish out the night learning from the New College of Florida. So I'm going to go ahead and invite Miss Rochelle to the stage and invite you to share your screen. I am making you a presenter right now.
Thank you so much. Let me just get this presentation started now. All right, so hopefully some of you have heard of New College of Florida. We are a very small public institution in the Florida State University system. We are located in Sarasota, Florida. We're right on Sarasota Bay, so it's a gorgeous campus. We absolutely adore our location. We're in the heart of a really beautiful city that has a lot to offer, especially within the arts and culture arena. We have a total undergraduate enrollment of about 700 students. We only have actually one graduate program, which is in data science, and it is teeny tiny. So, and we've been open since the 1960s. We have stayed intentionally small this entire time, hoping to make sure that students have access to a school where they can get one-on-one individualized attention from their professors. They have opportunities to do research at the undergraduate level and potentially even get published on that research before they graduate. So that is something that we are able to offer because of our small campus size. On average, the classes at New College are about 11 students with a 6-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So very small class sizes. They tend to be more discussion-based rather than lecture-based, and they are also very hands-on. We try to have a very hands-on approach. So a lot of opportunities to do research and design projects. We do have a lot in terms of majors at New College, which also includes pre-professional programs. Those programs are really gaining attention and traction in the last couple years. So if you are a student who is interested in being on a pre-law type track program, we have that. We also have pre-health programs, which include pre-med, pre-vet, pre-dental, and pre-pharmacy. So if you're thinking about any of those pre-programs, they're really great and you'll get that individualized attention that you're really looking for. At New College, we do things a little bit differently in terms of our academics. So you have a very customized curriculum. Everything is tailored to you personally. So you actually have a professor within your degree program who is your advisor and stays with you for all 4 years and mentors you through your full program. If you're coming in undecided, that's okay. We will match you with the best of our ability to put you with someone who we think you'll be a great match with. But if you come in and we're thinking, oh yes, this student sounds like they would be really interested in marine biology, and you decide your second year, you know what, no, I want to pursue art or philosophy or whatever it may be, you can switch advisors. It's not a big deal. But our hope is for you to have someone that you can work very closely with, who can provide you with a lot of feedback and mentorship. So that part is a little bit different. And at the beginning of every semester, you sit down with your advisor, you talk about your short and long-term goals, what your plans are for that semester, as well as for your college career and beyond. You talk about what classes sound exciting to you, and then we have 2 days at the beginning of every semester of what we call mini classes, which is where every professor will come out and give a 15-minute presentation on every class that's available for the semester. So you can try as many classes as you want, get a really good idea of what's expected in the class, what the professor's teaching style is like, you know, if there's going to be papers or projects or what's going to be going on in the classroom. And then you actually meet back with your advisor at that point to actually create your academic contract. So you have a lot of time there to figure out what you really want to be doing. And these contracts are renegotiable up until almost 75% of the way through the semester. So if you change your mind, if you sign up for, 5 classes and you realize that's too heavy of a course load for you, something comes up, we had COVID kind of sprung on us out of nowhere. If something's going on in your personal life, that's okay. Go and talk with your advisor. That's what they are there for. They're there to work with you individually. And while you're a student, you also have the opportunity to do things like independent study projects every month of January, which you can do those in groups with other students. You can do them one-on-one with the professor, and you can be anywhere in the world for those projects. So there's a lot of flexibility, once again, for you to pursue something that you're really interested in exploring more about. And then when it comes to your actual classes, we don't use a traditional grading system. We use what we call narrative evaluations at New College, which is where you are given a grade designation of either satisfactory or unsatisfactory, and then the professors will go into detail for you in about a page-long written response where they say, here's the things that you do really well. Here's where you really improve during the semester, and here's where you can continue to improve and where you can continue to focus. So if throughout the semester your papers really improved because you were spending a lot of time in the writing center, they'll say, continue going to the writing center next semester. I could see a huge improvement. And then when you have that professor, again, 2 years later, maybe, sometimes they'll say in your evaluations, I said to you to focus on these areas, and I can see such a huge improvement over that time. So it's really great being able to have those kinds of relationships with your professors where they are giving you that constant feedback so you can constantly build and become a better student without that enormous pressure of having the perfect GPA or the perfect grade. Okay, so this is a little bit more about what I was saying about those independent study projects and hands-on project opportunities and designing your own research. For that month of January, we have students who go in groups down to Panama with their professors. They go diving, they study coral reef ecology. We have students who are in labs on campus studying the vocalization of frogs. We have students who are learning American Sign Language and all kinds of different options. Really, your imagination is your only limitation when it comes to an independent study project. You can design those completely from scratch on your own, or you can jump in on a project with other students. And those projects are giving you opportunities to learn how to design your own research and execute that and present on it so that your 4th year, when we have a larger senior capstone project requirement, so you're prepared for that. So Our students, never mind, I'm not even trying to say that right now. Our students tend to call it a senior thesis. It is not a graduate level thesis. It is not that intense, but it is a larger project that you're going to be really proud of. It's something that you're going to be doing a lot of research on, and hopefully not at the same time taking a full course load. We want to make sure you have time to work on that larger project. You'll have a board of 3 other professors that you'll be working on it alongside. So you'll design all of the parameters, what your outcomes are, how you present it, who your audience is when you present it. But your professors who worked on it with you will be there for your presentation. So it's a very celebratory moment. It is your last requirement in order to graduate. So it is something that all of our students really look forward to. While you're a student, you also have the opportunity to do lots of different study abroad and study off campus. Our students are able to study off campus for up to 1.5 years. So you have a lot of flexibility there. We are a part of a few different programs that give our students some additional opportunities, such as the National Student Exchange, which is a list of over 200 programs worldwide that you can study at for up to 1.5 years for your regular tuition. And then we're also part of the Eco League, which is a group of 6 small liberal arts colleges like ourselves who are dedicated to helping students who are interested in environmental science programs. So if you want to go and study in a different ecosystem, you could take advantage of the Eco League and go study for up to 1 year in somewhere like Alaska or Arizona or something like that if you want to get out of the state of Florida for a minute. We're also a part of a program called the Cross College Alliance here in Sarasota, which we are really lucky to be in such a college town. We have the Ringling College of Art and Design, which is right across the street from us. They're a private art school. Then we also have the State College of Florida Manatee Sarasota campus, which is our local 4-year. We have the Ringling Florida State University, which is, they have like a theater program down in Sarasota. And then we also have the University of South Florida Sarasota Manatee campus right next door to us. So all of those campuses are in this alliance with us where students can take classes on each other's campuses, which once again gives you just a little bit more of an opportunity to take advantage of more coursework. While you're a student at New College, you also have the option to do something that we call tutorials, which is where you actually design your own classes. So if there's a class that you want to take that is not available on our campus or through any of these other off-campus opportunities, you can actually design that course yourself and get it approved and either take that class one-on-one with a professor or invite other students to take that class with you. As a student at New College, I apologize if I'm talking too fast here. As a student at New College, you will also have your own personal career coach for all 4 years. So someone working with you, helping you to find internships, helping you to design your cover letters, your resumes. We even have classes on how to interview. We have a career closet on our campus so that if you need a blazer for an interview, you can go and try one on. And if it fits you, you get to keep it and it's yours for free. So we have a lot of support services in place to make sure that you're getting the best help we can provide with finding those different internship opportunities and career opportunities, as well as helping you with your decisions about, do I want to go to grad school? Do I want to go to law school or medical school or one of those other professional programs? Figuring all of that out. And even after you graduate, if you decide, 5 years down the line, you know what, I changed my mind. I don't like my career path. I want to change things. Maybe I want to go back to grad school or something like that. You can actually come back to our campus and you will still have access to those resources. So that definitely goes to show that once you are a member of the New College community, you are always a member of the New College community. And with that, we also can provide alumni mentors as well. So students who have been in your exact program at your school, going on to your dream career, they can be mentoring you. We also have community mentors as well. So if you want to work with someone locally, we have that as well. So those are just some different options. And then alongside your degree program, you can also get a certificate if you would like to, or multiple certificates. We offer actually more than what is listed here now, but marketing certificates, finance, technology, digital media, and even entrepreneurship. So how to apply? If you are currently in your senior year, it is open. So please feel free to apply. We are on the Common App, and we also have our own new college application on our website. Currently, the application fee is being waived, so it is absolutely free to apply. You have nothing to lose. We do require that personal statement essay on the application that is included in Common App. No additional essay or anything like that. But just feel free to tell us about yourself, something that you're passionate about, or you can even use an essay that you've submitted for school or something like that. There's so many prompts to choose from. You can definitely find something that works for you personally. We also do require either the SAT or the ACT, either one, whichever one you want to take. If you take the same test multiple times, we will super score. So be sure to send us all of those scores. We want to give you your best shot. And then we do require some form of transcript. So if you want to fill out the self-reported test scores and transcripts, that works for us. If you want to take a screenshot and even email it to admissions@ncf.edu, if that's what's easiest for you, go for it. Or if you want to send us those official test scores and transcripts, that works too. There we have listed, which those numbers are a little bit older, but they still actually apply. The NCF GPA, middle 50% of students had between a 3.68 to a 4.31. That is weighted. So if you've taken any AP, IB, ACE, dual enrollment, anything like that, that will make you stand out on your application, absolutely. But that is also included in that recalculated GPA. For the SAT, we have an 1100 to a 1310 and the ACT a 25 to a 30. So those are just to give you our general averages, just to give you an idea of where students tend to fall at. If you are interested in coming to campus, we would love to host you. If you have applied already, or if you apply before you sign up for your visit, we can actually have you sit in on some classes if you'd like to, which might give you a better idea of if you feel comfortable in this feedback-based environment, if you like small class sizes, that sort of thing. So please feel free to sign up for those visits. We do have regular tours scheduled Monday through Friday, 4 times a day, as well as 1 Saturday per month. So whichever works for your schedule, and if none of those options work for you, reach out to us. Just email us at admissions@ncf.edu and we can work something out for you. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Okay, guys. So thank you everybody for sharing this information with us tonight. We have basically heard from some of the same things from all of our parents who are sending us private questions. The key question on their mind is really, if our students don't meet that middle 50%, should they just not apply, or do they have a chance? And I think that, as a mom of 4 girls, and I have 2 in high school and 1 in college, I do feel like this is just like the question. So if one of you could take that question, and then the second question that they kind of ask, I have asked most frequently, is what is the most important factor to you when you're reading that application? Is it the test scores, or is it kind of that whole package? So I'll open it up for those 2 questions, and anyone can jump in.
I'd be happy to take the first one. We're trying to take the stress out of students' lives. I think they're definitely, and the way the question was worded is how we get it often, and students are just worried, and families are worried about if they don't hit that mid-range. You have to remember that it's much better to look at mid-ranges than averages, because averages are just one number, but mid-ranges are the mid 50%. Which means that there are 25% of students above but 25% below as well. So if you don't fall in that mid-range of any in our institutions, that doesn't mean you shouldn't apply. We're looking at many different things. We do holistic reviews at most institutions. So we're not just looking at one number and saying yes and no based on that. So try not to stress about that as much, and try to really understand that you want to be near those mid-ranges and in those mid-ranges if possible. But if you're slightly off of it, it's not saying you'll never be admitted to that institution. You're presenting a lot of information to the school. You're putting your extracurricular information in there. You're putting your personal statements. You're putting your resumes. All of those things are looked at. The rigor of your courses, your GPA. And that's going to be something that all admissions committees are looking at. So try not to just focus on numbers alone. I mean, they're important, but they're not the only thing, and they're not going to strike you out of being competitive for admission if you're slightly below a test score average or mid-range.
I'll also add on to that. Most institutions have, summer programs. Like I know for Florida Gulf Coast, we have the Eagle Advantage program. So for students that may, fall below that average or, that median range, um, there's an easier transition. They work with you and they have courses that would allow for you to kind of make that transition easier. And it's a light amount of work that you'll be doing. So one or two classes on top of like a class that helps you pretty much, you know, set a schedule or, how to move around campus. So it shows you all of those things and you have mentors and things like that. So I wouldn't, there's different opportunities if you fall below that range for most institutions. So I would just say, uh, don't shy away from doing the applications to any of the schools because I'm sure there's some kind of programs that are there to help those students. And for the second one, I would say me personally, it's something personal, but what I like to see in an application, I like to really read the stories, the essays. So I always say, if you write the essays, a lot of times you get some essays that are talking about like failure or how they went through like tough things. And I just like to see how you grew from it. You know what I mean? Because the last thing you want is to set a student up for failure. And so if I see how you grew from your troubles or those things that kind of set you back, how you came out of it, then I have a better understanding of when you get to college, it's going to be, you're going to know how to deal with the stresses of it. You know what I mean? So just knowing that you can grow through those setbacks is something that I personally like to really see in the essay. So it's all about how you frame it, and I just think tell your story. You know what I mean? Tell your story and tell and show us who you really are as a person, even if sometimes they say COVID happened or something happened in my life and it set me back, but this is how I came out of it. So this is who I am now. And if you look back at my transcripts, you'll see when this happened, this is what my grades were. But now, as you see, once I got over it, if you look at the transcripts from my senior year or my junior year, a year after, this is who I became. So that's something that I really find joy in seeing.
Thank you. That was really insightful. I always tell my own girls, you need to tell your story, otherwise someone else will tell it for you. So that is
Right.
very, very good advice. So the other question I kind of want to close us out on, and we've seen probably every variety of this question, is as a parent, it can be really difficult to guide our students in junior and senior year toward dual enrollment or AP. And, I think this is something that really weighs on them. They're not sure which looks better on the college application. They don't know, what the right road is. And, I always think as a parent, it's different for each student. But as a college admissions counselor, what are your thoughts on that? Do you feel that they're equal, or is this something that parents really need to be concerned about? No one wants to take this one, huh?
No, I'm sorry. I didn't
Actually,
quite. I'm sorry. Can you ask the question once more, please? I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
sure. So specifically, how do you guys feel about dual enrollment versus AP or advanced placement classes? And does it make a difference in admission, or what guidance would you give families about this?
Okay. I can actually, this is one of the questions that we often get. A couple of things that I would like to point out is that dual enrollment courses, when we are reviewing the application, you still get, if you do any ACE, AP, IB, or dual enrollment, you're still getting that full unit, right? But something that students need to be mindful is that sometimes they do AP courses, but obviously there's going to be a portion where they're going to have to take the test and see how they do, if they do well or not. But then The second part is when we actually receive those, we want to make sure that they're going to go towards their general education courses. The reason why is because sometimes we have seen where students will take multiple AP classes, and then, once they take the test, usually they just transfer in as electives. So that's really taking away from their actual, major and degree. And so we just like for students to be just a little bit more mindful on that versus doing a dual enrollment course where you're taking, usually a very specific general education course, or possibly like, the requirements for your major. So I think that that's something that they need to start looking at a little bit closer, just so that they make sure that they're not transferring a lot of electives, and that's going to take away from their major and degree once they get here at the University of South Florida. So a couple of things, like I said, they are more than welcome to do the AP. They can actually see on the SAT website what it's equivalent to. So that would be something that they should do. I say like dual enrollment, obviously it's one semester, you kind of get a letter grade and you're good to go. You're able to move forward versus, taking it a whole year. But like I said, we both accept both classes. You still get the full unit, as long as you're passing your classes with a C or better, obviously. And that's something that students just, as far as counselors, or high school counselors goes, and how they're doing that advising, just to kind of make them aware, a little bit. And I know, like, for example, Orange County, they are required to take, I believe, AP courses. So that is definitely, it varies from county to county. And I think it's going to be up to like what their preference is going to be on pushing on the students.
I will also add in to feed off of what Nancy said. To always look at the curriculum maps. I think that'll help with that, not having to come in and the credits are transitioning to electives. So I always tell students to just look at the curriculum maps. I know on fgcu.edu we have all of the every major or every program has a page, and you can see the curriculum map, which are suggested classes from year 1 to year 4. So if you want to start working on your degree, you can start at the high school level, not just taking random AP classes, but actually taking courses that are going to go towards your major. I think that's something that's really beneficial, and you can actually print that out because it comes up as a PDF, and you can print out that curriculum map and take it with you to your advisor, or if you're taking courses at the state college that is local, you can take that to the academic advisors there, so that you can say, hey, this is my 4-year plan that I'm looking to do once I go to college. Can you help me get into some of the classes that you may offer that are on the curriculum map? So I think that's something that you can all utilize while you're still in high school that would be beneficial for you once you go into college.
That's great feedback. I definitely do not see many students coming in with those curriculum maps or that type of conversation happening. So I think that that's really useful for parents to know. All right, before we close out for the night, I'm going to give each of you a chance to say one thing that you would like parents to remember about your university, and then I will thank you for your time. Let's lead off with UCF. You are muted. Don't you love the
Sorry
post-COVID
about that.
world?
I think I would have known after 3 years. I shouldn't have to tell me to unmute. Something I would want them to know about, to remember about UCF. Well, I think basically that we are, we are Orange County's hometown university, and we're right down the street, but there's still a lot to learn about us. I think a lot of people don't know what's right here in our backyard. So I would encourage them to come see us and come learn more about the university. We've changed a lot in the past 10 or 15 years. We've grown, obviously, but we've also changed a lot, with a lot of new programs and campuses and that sort of thing. So we would encourage you to take a look right down the street.
Awesome. Rochelle?
Yeah, at New College, I would just say you're not just a number. We only have 700 students. You're going to have 2 professionals working directly with you between your career coach and your advisor, who's a professor right in your field. So you have professional mentors working with you, and you're really not. You're a number, or you're not a number. You are a name. You are a face. People will know you on our campus.
Thank you. Jamari?
Yes, I would just like to remind the parents that at Florida Gulf Coast is it's really community driven. So yeah, I mean, if you look at the campus from an aerial view, you'll see that it's one big circle full of one family. So I call it I'm from Plant City, Florida, so I call it my second home away from home, because they really did take me under their wing, and my whole process from freshman year, coming in all the way to my senior year and graduating, they supported me in everything that I wanted to do. So I think the community part of it is something that's really big for people that are from places where their entire family is like myself. So I really can attest to the community here.
All right, and Nancy.
Okay, so something I would like for parents just to remember is that the University of South Florida is not too far away from Orlando area. It's 2 hours away, and we do have we have great programs across all three campuses. So once a bowl becomes a bowl, they are allowed to take classes at any other campus. So, and also the advantage is living at a top listed 100 city in America. So, obviously there's going to be a lot of opportunities after they graduate, and obviously a lot of students that graduate tend to move to those areas. So keep us in mind, and if there are any questions, we are here to help you.
Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. It was amazing to hear from 4 of my favorite universities in Florida and families. This recording is going to be available tomorrow on the OCPS Families YouTube channel and will be sent out to all juniors and seniors within our district. Stay tuned for our next college admissions installment, which will be from private universities. And we have installments each month through the school year. Thank you all so much and have a fantastic evening. Bye.
Thank you as well.